A month before our wedding, Justin brought his white moonlight, Celeste, home. Elaine, Celeste is traveling back to her country, and I thought it's unsafe for her to stay in a hotel as a girl. She'll stay with us for a few days, you won't mind, right? Celeste came over and held my arm. Justin, stop thinking Elaine is stingy. They say girl help girl, how could she bear to have me stay alone in a hotel? I shook her hand off. So, you know we're about to get married? Then why are both of you violating your roles, one breaking male virtue, the other breaking female virtue? Justin, enraged, grabbed Celeste's hand and stormed out. A few weeks later, he sent me a message late at night. A deep male voice asked him who he was. After a pause, he dared to reply, "Who are you?" "Elaine is my fiancée." "I got it, Elaine, you brought someone to make me angry, didn't you? Let me tell you, these little tricks won't work on me." The man on the other end quickly rummaged through his stuff and found the marriage certificate, sending it to Justin. "Bro, can you help me read the 3 characters on the cover? You said Elaine is your fiancée? Elaine and I are married, so doesn't that make me your fiancé? Justin, either she leaves today, or you leave with her." Seeing that I was giving him no face, Justin's face darkened. "Elaine, Celeste and I are just friends now. Don't overthink it. We're getting married." "Elaine, I came back this time just to catch up with Justin. I'm not the kind of person who lacks feelings. Even though we broke up, it doesn't mean we cut ties completely. Justin and I may not have love, but we still have friendship. Besides, I'm already engaged to my fiancé, and he hasn't said anything. You and Justin aren't even married yet, so why are you being so strict about it?" Celeste crossed her arms and pouted, "So, you know we're getting married too? Then why are both of you violating your roles, one breaking male virtue, the other breaking female virtue? If you insist on keeping her here today, then let me tell you, not only are we about to get married, but we're also about to not be able to get married. Elaine, who are you threatening with marriage? Your wedding invitations have already been sent, right? If you can't marry me, think about it, who will be the one embarrassed? If there's no groom at the wedding, don't come begging me. Celeste, let's go." Before leaving, Celeste couldn't resist making a sarcastic remark at me, "What era is it now, and you're still so narrow-minded, not allowing your husband to have female friends? A woman like you, so inconsiderate." Justin grabbed Celeste's hand and rushed out the door, while I kicked it shut completely. I wasn't just learning about Justin's interactions with his ex-girlfriend now. Several months ago, he would frequently travel abroad, always to the same country, the UK. I found myself wondering, who could possibly be in the UK? It wasn't until my best friend Lynn mentioned it that I realized Celeste went to the UK to study abroad after graduating from college. Although I had seen photos of Celeste on Justin's Facebook, and Lynn had mentioned that Celeste resembled me somewhat, I didn't feel much at the time. But when Celeste stood before me in person, I was momentarily stunned. While her demeanor and expressions were different, at first glance, even I was a little confused. It's no wonder Justin once told me he fell for me at first sight and pursued me so eagerly. On the day he confessed his love, he almost used every sweet word in the book on me. It turns out this was all just to cover up the fact that I was a stand-in for the woman he truly loved, the white moonlight of his heart. At the time, I foolishly thought he was simply love-struck. Now, it seems the real fool was me. After Celeste and Justin left, Lynn arrived at my place. I showed her the footage of what had just happened, and Lynn jumped up in anger. "Come on, sis, I'm taking you to get rid of that jerk and celebrate your new beginning." At first, I was getting a headache from this couple's antics and just wanted to crawl back into bed and sleep. But I knew Lynn wouldn't let me off that easily. She insisted that I put on makeup and change clothes, dragging me out for drinks to meet that muscular, handsome boss whom I had never met but had heard so much about. That's right, today was supposed to be her company's team-building event. Knowing I was heartbroken and hurt by the jerk, Lynn didn't want me to wallow alone at home. So, she brought me straight to the party, not only to help me release my emotions but also with a hidden agenda. She wanted to get a look at the boss's abs. Unfortunately, their boss couldn't make it today due to work commitments. However, he's a good guy, and knowing everyone had drunk a lot, especially the female employees, he personally came to ensure they got home safely. Lynn mentioned that after every team building event, it's customary for their boss to see his employees home safely. As I was still thinking how could there be such a great boss in the world, a man dressed in a dark blue suit, with a muscular build, pushed the door open. The crowd rushed towards him, cheering his arrival. From my perspective, I could only see his long legs. I was a bit tipsy and could hardly stand up. I had to retreat to a corner until Lynn brought him over. Elaine, let me introduce you. This is our boss, Leon. Who? Leon? Such a common name? I looked up and just happened to lock eyes with him, his long lashes partially covering his gaze. Boss, let me introduce you. This is my best friend. Elaine. As soon as he said that, I was even more certain of his identity. He was the white moonlight of my high school days, Leon. You two don't know each other, do you? Not only do we know each other, but we're quite familiar. The Sunny doll? I felt inexplicably embarrassed and quickly lowered my head. But it was too late to warn my ears, the blood rushing to my heart had already made my ears flush red. Lynn looked at me with a puzzled expression. How could she not notice something was off? Under the influence of alcohol, her words became blunt and direct. Elaine, why are you still blushing? I haven't even introduced you to his abs yet. Leon took half a step closer to me. Though it wasn't obvious, the distance felt extremely sensitive to me. What? Just reunited and you want to see my abs? I admit, at that moment, I really wanted to dig a huge hole and throw them all in. The room was cold, and I was starting to sober up, my body shivering uncontrollably. Leon didn't make me feel awkward, he simply took off his suit jacket and tossed it onto my lap. Hold this for me. Then he turned and rejoined the group, playing dice with them. I couldn't help but sneak a few glances at him through the crowd. Beneath his semi-transparent white shirt, the outline of his abs was faintly visible. As for his face, his innocence and youthfulness were overshadowed by a deep maturity. Every movement he made was calm and composed, his demeanor as cool as rain. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Justin, containing a photo of him half-naked, looking as skinny as a dog and like a monkey. I could tell without thinking that it was Celeste who had sent it using his phone. I secretly took a half-body shot of Leon and sent it back to him. Life is short, if you're going to eat something good. Shoving junk into your mouth will only harm you. In the middle of the night, Leon had another colleague take a drunk colleague home. When he helped me into the passenger seat, then got into the driver's seat and started the engine, I realized that he hadn't had a drop of alcohol today. Elaine, you're getting married? Leon walked in and immediately saw the wedding photo framed on the table. I quickly threw the frame into the nearby trash can. I'm not marrying a dog. I instinctively kicked the nearby armchair. Unexpectedly, I lost my balance and stumbled straight into Leon's arms. To keep me from falling, he steadied me with a firm embrace. What about me? What? Am I a person or a dog? My face flushed red, and I quickly pulled away from him. Hey, you just spilled your drink on my shirt. I glanced at his chest, and sure enough, there was a stain of Celeste's drink. It must have happened when he was helping me earlier, a moment of dizziness, and I accidentally burped the drink onto his shirt. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to. If apologies were useful, what would we need police for in this world? Then what do you want? Take out your phone. What? Add me as a contact, so you can compensate me. He wanted me to compensate him. I quickly took out my phone, unlocked it, and from his angle, he could directly look down at my screen. However, I hadn't expected that the interface displayed was the chat with Justin, and there was the very obvious half-body photo I secretly took of Leon. I quickly swiped it away. When I saw that mischievous smile on Leon's lips, I knew it was too late. Leon had added me as a contact, and as he was leaving, he waved his phone at me. So you had such a good time eating and drinking tonight. Then I can rest easy. I covered my face in embarrassment, wishing I could switch to a different planet. The next day, my phone suddenly kept buzzing. When I checked, I saw a strange group chat with the name over a month, and there were already over 99 unread messages. Celeste, I've sent the photo you took with Justin last night to the group. Look, Justin and Celeste are such a perfect pair, like a match made in heaven. They're too cute together. If Celeste hadn't been forced by her family to study abroad, Justin and Celeste would already have kids by now. Don't say that, Justin and Elaine are about to get married. I only think of Justin as an older brother. Older brother? From what I saw last night, it looked like love, not family affection. Seeing these chat records, I was infuriated. When I saw the group owner was Celeste, I immediately realized what was happening. I swiped through the photos, and several of them showed Justin gazing deeply at Celeste's profile. His eyes were full of affection, tenderness, and longing. Most importantly, I had never seen him look at me with such intense longing. As expected, the white moonlight in his world shone far brighter. I didn't plan to pay them any attention, but unexpectedly, Celeste tagged me directly, "Elaine, don't be mad. I added you to the group so they could share the photo we took last night. I thought since you and Justin are getting married soon, I added you to avoid any misunderstandings. They were just joking, don't take it seriously." I gave a dry laugh. Since you like adding people to groups so much, why don't you add your mom too to avoid any misunderstandings? I couldn't be bothered to argue like a schoolchild. After saying that, I decisively left the group. Wasting even one more second on garbage like that was a disrespect to the clear blue sky and the endless horizon. I stretched, planning to get up and wash my face, but my phone suddenly buzzed again. I thought it was Celeste relentlessly pursuing me. I rolled up my sleeves, ready to confront her head-on, but to my surprise, it was a message from Leon, "Compensate me at Xianghu Park today." I recalled the awkwardness from last night and hid under the blanket for a while, before finally willing myself to face reality. Since the meeting spot was at the park, I was dressed in simple sportswear with my hair tied into a neat ponytail. Just as I was about to leave, I ran into Justin coming home. "What are you doing back?" He was followed by a few of his friends. "Elaine, I came back to pack my things. I'm going to accompany Celeste back to England for a while. I'm here to officially inform you that our wedding is cancelled." I was confused by Justin's words. What does this mean? It means I've broken up with you. Then be my guest. Please make sure you clean up thoroughly, leave no traces behind. I don't want to see you again. Justin suddenly sneered a few times. "Elaine, even now, you're still being stubborn? Do you need to completely lose me before you learn how to regret? Don't blame me for being heartless. If you can apologize to me humbly today, perhaps I'll consider spending a few more days with you before leaving. At least that would give this relationship a proper ending." "No need, I'm a bit of a clean freak. I don't want to touch anything dirty. I have to go out, so I won't keep you. Please finish packing up and close the door behind you." With that, I strode toward the door. Justin stopped me. "Elaine, if you dare take one step out that door today, it's completely over between us. I'll give you some more time to think it through. You're not worth me wasting my time on. By the way, please tell Celeste in the future that she doesn't need to hold such hostility toward me. I'm doing just fine now." A furious slam came from behind the door. To be honest, I had never seen Justin lose his temper like this before. Was it because he was unwilling? Or was it out of reluctance? This answer no longer mattered to me. I heard one of his friends say from behind, "Justin, did your wife really leave just like that? She's not really giving up on you, is she? I saw no emotion on your wife's face. She doesn't seem like she's just angry at Justin. Didn't you say your wife loves you so much that if she knew you were leaving, she'd even give up her life just to keep you? Justin, I think you've gone too far this time. Your wife is really angry. If you don't chase her now, you'll have truly lost her forever. She'll come back to beg me. Without a groom at the wedding, she won't be able to save face. Who gave Justin this misplaced confidence? I gave a light laugh, hopped on the bike outside the door, and headed towards Xianghu Park. With the scumbag behind me, I felt 10 times lighter. I truly thanked Celeste for helping me see the true face of this scumbag before the wedding. Ruining my moment was one thing, but ruining my entire life? What kind of situation was that? Leon sat on a long bench, his fingers long and his knuckles sharp. He exuded an aura of lazy indifference yet still maintained a cool, aloof attitude. Dressed in casual wear, the outline of his abdominal muscles was particularly noticeable through his tight, plain-colored t-shirt. "You've arrived? Sit." He had a powerful aura that made anyone sitting next to him feel uneasy. The width of the chair was such that I only occupied a third of it. "By the way, you said I should compensate you. How much was your clothes?" "I'll send it over now." I admit, it was a bit rude to bring up money right when we met. Otherwise, I could just buy you an identical one. "When did I ask you to compensate me?" I opened my phone and checked his message again. "Did you forget the message you just sent me? You see for yourself." "Oh, I was too quick, I made a typo." "Which word did you get wrong?" I glanced at my phone, and there were only a few words. I could easily tell that the only one that could form a homophone was the word compensate. "Accompany me?" My face instantly turned completely red, and I wasn't sure if it was the rush of blood or the fact that my mind went completely blank. I didn't know what to say next. "You came to see me last night? That was intentional, right? What's this? Still have feelings for me?" "No, I didn't know Lynn's boss was you. Now you're into six-pack abs?" Leon leaned closer. "Why are you blushing? You don't still like me, do you? Have you been thinking about me all these years?" None of these questions could be answered by me. But I still had to reply, "I really don't." However, the more Leon saw me blush, the more aggressive he became. "Elaine, whenever you lie, you get nervous, and when you're nervous, you blush. You look just like when you graduated and said you didn't love me." I stared at the drifting leaves in front of me. The whirlpool of leaves brought my thoughts back to that big tree from high school. Back then, Leon was my seatmate. He tried everything to pursue me for 3 years and gradually warmed my cold heart. It wasn't that I didn't love him, but our school had strict rules against early relationships. Not only was dating forbidden, but even if a boy and a girl got too close or chatted for a moment, the homeroom teacher would view them as suspects, and once discovered, they would be expelled without room for negotiation. Even students who ranked in the top 3 of the grade didn't receive any extra leniency due to their good academic performance. Leon was one of the top students in our school. He could have easily chosen any university like Qingda or Jingda. I repeatedly rejected his confessions because I didn't want him to sacrifice his bright future for me. A few months before the college entrance exam, Leon confessed to me again. I was overwhelmed by stress and confusedly agreed. He was overjoyed, but because the exams were approaching, he never disturbed me again. Later, when I heard from his last friend that Leon was planning to apply to the same university as me, I panicked. Our grades were worlds apart, and I didn't deserve him to sacrifice so much for me. But I knew Leon was stubborn. Once he decided something, no amount of persuasion could change his mind. I could only intentionally act close to another male classmate. When Leon became jealous and yelled at me, I told him coldly that I had never loved him. After graduation, Leon went on to Qingda, but I never expected that many years later, I would reunite with my first love at Lynn's team building party. "Did you know back then that I was lying to you?" Elaine, I only looked away for a moment. "How did you end up getting married?" Leon furrowed his brows at me. "What do you mean by that?" "I know you didn't want me to stay in a city for love, so I followed your wishes and went to Qingda. I didn't want to do a long-distance relationship. I planned to come back after graduating from college to confess to you again. But just as I was about to return, I received the news that you were getting married." "What's the rush?" "Justin and I were college classmates." If I were to tell him, the reason we got together so quickly was because in Justin's eyes, I could find a few similarities with Leon. Just a few, but it was enough to make me fall for him back then. After graduation, I had no intention of getting married so soon, but Justin's mother pressured us into it. During the years we were together, he wasn't particularly good to me, nor was he bad. Everything others had, I had too, but I always felt that something was missing from our relationship. Justin always said that I was aloof and could never fully open up to him. But when Leon appeared in front of me, I felt like I wanted to spill everything from my heart. After graduation, he proposed to me, and I accepted. If it hadn't been for Celeste's appearance, we would have likely gotten married soon with the witness of our family and friends. Elaine, compensate me. Leon's words, through gritted teeth, suddenly jolted me out of my memories. Then tell me how much. You made me wait for so many years. Compensate me with an Elaine. Alright, I'll compensate you. Leon pulled me into his arms, and my tears dampened his shirt, the exact spot where the red wine had spilled last night. Once, during high school, Leon hugged me when I was feeling down due to poor grades and overwhelming emotions. I had cried endlessly by the school tree, and it was Leon who comforted me, gently patting my back and reassuring me that everything would be all right. I don't know whether it was his embrace or his words, but there was a unique strength in them. That night, I slept soundly, no longer worrying about any bad things that might happen in the future. Leon kept leaning closer to my face. Elaine, can you be my girlfriend now? I kissed the furrow in his brow, and his lips lightly brushed from my nose to the corner of my mouth. The emptiness in my heart over the years was now filled to its fullest. At this moment, I truly hope that Justin and Celeste can go abroad to live together and never disturb the happy life that Leon and I share. It was only after I truly saw Leon's face that I realized Justin had no similarities with him at all. When will the wedding be held? Huh? What wedding? I asked in confusion. You can't just take advantage of me and not take responsibility. Just give me a title, and you can take advantage as you please from now on. Leon and I quickly registered for our marriage, and with the wedding approaching, he didn't slack off at all. He put aside his work and accompanied me every day to try on wedding dresses, take wedding photos, coordinate details with the wedding company, and discuss wedding procedures with the hotel. Compared to Justin, who is so hands-off, Leon's dedication is almost pure love. Even Lynn recently complained to me that the boss doesn't come to the office every day, and the company is about to go bankrupt. I did advise Leon to focus on his work while I stay at home unemployed, with plenty of time to handle things myself. After all, I've handled many things alone before without any major issues. Leon lightly tapped my head and reminded me not to get too carried away by love. A wedding is a two-person affair, and so is love. Recently, Justin has been posting frequently on Facebook, sharing intimate photos with Celeste and several videos of them kissing by the sea. The captions all have the same heart emoji. I haven't deleted them, I just see it as a joke. I accidentally liked one of the posts while holding my phone. A few minutes later, Justin sent me a voice message. Elaine, the wedding is about to start. Your family must be in chaos by now. After all, you're a woman, and if it gets out that your fiancé dumped you before the wedding, your reputation might be ruined. Now, if you beg me and cheer me up, maybe in a few days, I'll buy a plane ticket and come back to marry you. I don't know when Leon finished his shower, but suddenly he appeared behind me, grabbed the phone, and spoke into it in a voice like a bass speaker. Bro, who are you? If it got out that you, a man, cheated with your first love and got dumped by your fiancé, wouldn't your reputation be ruined? It's really strange, don't you have a reputation? Oh, wait, you really aren't human. I couldn't help but let out a laugh, and Leon quickly recorded my laughter with one swift motion. I don't know if my wife will comfort you, nor do I care. But you just gave me the opportunity to make my wife happy. I didn't expect you to be so thoughtful. Thanks, bro. Don't come back. There are 2 grooms, haha. My wife is being chased by so many people, and I can't compare. If we were on the same stage, it would ruin my reputation. Bro, please bear with it. After we're married, you can come back. I don't know why Justin insists on provoking Leon. His tongue is truly as sharp as a razor. Justin probably didn't respond right away. Leon waited for a while but received no reply, commenting that this guy looked like a dog and had weaker mental resilience than his family dog. After a while, he finally replied, "Who are you?" "Elaine is my fiancée." "How did she become your wife?" After a while, he said, "Oh, I see. Elaine, you found someone to annoy me, haven't you? Let me tell you, these little tricks won't work on me." Leon quickly rummaged through the drawers, found the marriage certificate, and sent it to Justin. "Bro, can you help me read these 3 characters on the cover? You say Elaine is your fiancée? But Elaine and I are married, so doesn't that make me your fiancée?" Then, he grabbed his own phone and sent me a few high school photos, sent them to Justin, and added 2 heart emojis. After a series of actions, Leon rubbed my head and asked, "By the way, where do you want to go for our honeymoon?" He only cared about me giving him a destination. He said he'd take care of everything else. Justin kept calling me several times, but I didn't answer. Leon said that Justin was no match for him. If he made him so angry that he vomited blood, he'd have to donate blood, which wasn't necessary. The reason Leon didn't block him was that he knew even if he blocked Justin, Justin would find ways to contact me. He simply kept his Facebook, tormenting him until Justin would be utterly convinced, to the point of wanting to vomit every time he saw me. Though it was a joke, it did comfort me. I never intended to marry Leon on the same day as Justin, or even in the same hotel. It just didn't seem fair to Leon, especially since my relatives were all back in my hometown. It is rare to see Justin, and even if the groom is replaced, they wouldn't notice at all. Though the gap was filled, I still felt that this wasn't fair to the person I truly loved. I've thought about publicly announcing the cancellation of my wedding with Justin more than once. As for my wedding with Leon, we could have held it on another day, but Leon refused to do so. I knew he didn't want me to be embarrassed, so he would rather bear the discomfort himself. He said to me, "Marriage is just a formality. What matters is who the 2 people standing on this stage are, whether they truly love each other. Only love can activate this stage. You've worked so hard for everything before, why not take this opportunity to finish the wedding? I don't want the wedding my wife worked so hard on to end up being dedicated to a scumbag. He doesn't deserve it, I do. This isn't your fault. It's my fault for not insisting back then, and for coming too late." Honestly, I could never argue with Leon. Since he appeared, he took over the entire wedding. He said that this wedding was something we both created, and since Justin never cared, it was perfect. This wedding had nothing to do with him, which allowed me to stop being troubled by it. He even thanked Justin, saying that thanks to him, he now had the opportunity to marry me, the one person he had always wanted to marry. Recently, Justin often contacted me, and every time I heard a hoarse voice on the phone, I would quickly hang up. Since then, I haven't seen Celeste on Facebook, but Justin would often send me strange messages late at night. "Elaine, I know you love me. You're just marrying someone else to provoke me, aren't you? I'm ready to return to my country. Can we talk? There must be some misunderstanding. After all these years, you know how I treated you. How could you just forget our many years of love? Celeste and I are really just friends. If you don't want her staying at her place, I promise I will cut ties with her forever. I'm really looking forward to our wedding day. You'll definitely be the most beautiful bride. The thing is, I go to bed early, and Leon happens to be a night owl. He would always see these messages before I did. Bro, are you writing a novel? Are you the domineering CEO or the deep, emotional second lead? You're the scumbag in this story, right? Scumbag chasing his wife to the grave. You won't be tortured to death, but you'll get scolded to death. The next day, seeing the messages, I would always laugh at Leon's replies, thinking to myself, Justin, at this point, why are you still humiliating yourself? Before the wedding started, Leon began checking the guests. Perhaps it was because Justin hadn't informed his relatives in time that the wedding was cancelled. Since he had always believed the main character of the wedding was supposed to be him, when he finally accepted that he wasn't the groom, there wasn't enough time to notify everyone, which led to many of the Zhou family's relatives still showing up. Leon happily went around escorting people out. "Excuse me, are you Justin's relative? This is Leon and Elaine's wedding. The former groom was too ugly and was dumped by the bride. Please leave immediately. You can collect the wedding gift money at the front desk." The Zhou family's relatives were left with puzzled expressions. Leon, afraid they wouldn't believe him, showed each of them the marriage certificate. But the groom was indeed not Justin, and no one could say anything. Those who were called had to leave silently. Word of this spreading would likely leave the Zhou family's face completely gone. Leon even took credit, saying, "I won't say who the embarrassing person is." Lin, standing beside me, smiled knowingly, "That's my boss's still." The wedding ceremony was progressing smoothly until halfway through, when Justin unexpectedly barged in to snatch the bride. When he pushed open the hotel door, all eyes turned toward him. He must have just gotten off a plane, holding a suitcase in his hand. "Elaine, I'm here." Facing this sudden turn of events, the host was also shocked. In his career, he probably had never actually faced a situation where someone came to snatch the bride. Leon first held my hand, giving me a reassuring smile and a firm look. I knew what he meant. He wanted me to be brave. No matter what happened, he would always be by my side. This gave me the courage to face the person who had hurt me in this crucial moment. I couldn't let Leon bear everything alone. Leon grabbed the microphone from the host's hand, saying, "I'm sure everyone is scared. Don't worry. I've asked for some fruits to be placed on the table. If anyone is hungry, they can eat while enjoying the show. I promise you'll witness an exciting performance. You can start now, my fiancé." The crowd below gasped in surprise, and many began to whisper among themselves. "Elaine, the person who should have stood there is me. It's my fault. I came too late. You can hit me, you can scold me, but please don't leave me." Justin walked toward me step by step. With each step, a new tear streak appeared on his face. "I know you still love me. Stop playing around, okay? Come with me. Didn't you once tell me that you wanted a perfect wedding? We can start over." As Justin was about to reach me, I waved my hand at him, signaling him to stop. "Justin, I have never loved you. You said you would give me a perfect wedding. A perfect wedding needs a perfect partner. Tell me, are you that partner? Elaine, can't you accept my apology? Please, stop being mad at me. If you just marry anyone, you'll ruin your life." With a thud, Justin suddenly kneeled on the stage. "If you don't agree to reconcile with me, I'll kneel here for Eve." "Bro, then I guess your knees will have to suffer. We'll try to make it quick." Leon stood in front of me and addressed Justin. As soon as he spoke, the entire audience burst into laughter. Justin nervously looked around, embarrassed, and lowered his head. Justin directly pushed her away. "Why are you still following me? Didn't I tell you to leave? If it weren't for you interfering, the person standing on stage right now should be me. Do you think I can't see through your manipulative tactics? Back then, you abandoned me because I couldn't afford to study abroad. Now that I have succeeded, you're back, trying to cling to me. I was just playing with you, and do you really think you can compare to Elaine?" Celeste was publicly scolded by Justin and cried, but both Leon and I knew this was just one of her tactics to appear weak, to act pitiful and garner sympathy. She had gone to such lengths to steal Justin from me, and now, how could she give up just because of a few angry words from Justin? "Brother Justin, I think you misunderstood me. I didn't know my presence would affect your relationship with Elaine." Celeste even went so far as to kneel and beg me on Justin's behalf. "Elaine, Justin truly loves you. Please, reconcile with him. It's all my fault. You can hate me however you want, just don't blame Justin." What a show. "Justin, so you're not blind after all, you can see Celeste is just playing games." "Celeste, you're not stupid either, you know Justin loves me, right? You two are a perfect match, really, you should be locked together for life. How about this, host? Why don't you officiate their wedding for them? Let's have everyone witness their marriage." Leon suddenly said this, making the whole crowd burst into laughter. I think everyone now understood the situation, this person trying to steal the wedding in the name of love. Seeing that his attempt to steal the wedding had failed and he had become the laughingstock of everyone, Justin felt embarrassed. He vented all his anger on Celeste, half pushing, half pulling her out of the hotel door. Leon even kindly waved at them and said, "Goodbye, never to see you again." In the end, we must thank today's wedding crashers. Everyone can see that Elaine and I are both firmly choosing each other. We love each other, and no one, no event, can shake our decision. The crowd erupted into enthusiastic applause. The wedding proceeded as planned, though the host was a little nervous from the earlier events. As I recited my vows to Leon, I realized just how much I truly loved the man before me. I also realized the hidden love this man had for me over the years. Suddenly, in that moment, I was grateful for Celeste's appearance. She didn't interrupt my love, but rather, a tragic relationship that was destined to fail. After the wedding, Leon and I went abroad for our honeymoon. According to our plan, we probably wouldn't return to the country for another 8 to 10 years. At the airport, I briefly saw Justin's figure flash by. I thought it was just a hallucination from being too tired recently. But when Leon went to get me a cup of coffee, Justin suddenly appeared in front of me. His eyes were tired, his face covered in stubble, a far cry from the spirited young man I had seen in photos with Celeste. For a moment, I even thought I had mistaken him for someone else. Then he spoke, calling my name, "Elaine, am I going to miss you forever?" "There is no missed opportunity, we never even met." "How can you say you just throw away all those years of feelings? You treat the years we wasted like garbage, and now you think you can just pick them up again? When will you come back? It used to be you waiting for me, now let me wait for you, okay? I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. It's up to you. Elaine, can't you stay? I really can't live without you. I'll do anything to make it up to you." "How can I live without you?" Leon suddenly appeared, grabbing my luggage with one hand. I knew we had to board soon and didn't want to engage any further with this stubborn jerk, so I decided to turn and walk away. Little did I know, Leon's mouth wouldn't let him off the hook, can't live no matter what. Then don't live. I couldn't hold back a giggle. Leon, with his hand on my shoulder, turned around and whispered in my ear, "You should talk more if you can." You didn't let him off the hook either. The plane gradually ascended, soaring into the clouds. Looking down at the tiny spots on the ground, I suddenly felt that everything in the past was insignificant. The only thing worth cherishing was Leon, like a child, resting his head on my shoulder, whispering "I love you" even in his dreams. At that moment, I realized my life had begun a brand new chapter.